Been expecting them all season. First one, way up here. I was not expecting it up here. 9,000 feet almost. Nothing down in the 6,000s, 5, 4s, where I'm accustomed to seeing them. This one startled me nowhere, out of nowhere that is, from under the sagebrush that it was walking very close towards. Guess they can be anywhere, folks. Good to be aware of. You can be out on cool, cloudy days, no problem. No problem at all. Storms ahead where I'm going. That's my first major peak. I don't think I'll have a lot of major peaks on the Toquima. There's a lot of flat plateaus up here. That's what they call the Alta Toquima, which is all high flat plateau with pinnacles, of course. These are the highest, snowiest areas, especially 12,000 feet beyond there. We're about to hit above 10,000 feet later tonight. Be a chilly night up there. No way I can make it beyond there, I do not think. It's grimly beautiful out here. There's the Toyabe Crest. Go walk the namesake trail sometime. This wind is blowing up dust in the deserts below. Clearly didn't get a heavy dumping of rain down there. Because of this, in this direction, the direction I'm headed, towards the higher country. The steppe is very lush. This is not a lush steppe though. Let me put it that way. The steppe here is lush, but this is not a lush steppe. I've seen much lusher elsewhere, of course. Fish Creek Range comes to mind readily, nearby to here. Toyabes themselves are quite a bit lusher. This is windswept and drier, but lush this year. The taxonomic composition has not changed a whole lot. From 6,000 to 9,000 feet or so. High and dry, the Toquima. At least the north end. Looks high and not so dry towards the center. It's violently chilly and windy up there. Out there. Right beyond the confines of this little grove. It's time to climb this baby. Depart this track really soon here. Encounter some snow up ahead, it looks like. And plenty of spectacular plants, I'm sure. A lot of high elevation endemic taxa in the Toquima, apparently. Just here to photograph them, not to disturb them otherwise. Not much shelter out there this hour. And further to the south, the Toquima is still socked in. Lots of rain still about, actually, and thunder. It's risky, but it looks like there's some groves along the ridge. that pass ahead at least. To make some further progress. Nowhere to camp here anyway, it's too steep. Continues to rain up here. It's not quite dark yet, I'm not sure why the camera's doing that. So yeah, tented down a little early at an exposed pass. But I wish I could show you, I'm trying to. The guys are all down and feel pretty okay in this relatively new tent. Downsized. Smallest tent possible, really, and lightest. Lucky I reached here when I did. No groves of trees left. And just saw some lightning flash. This is Wildcat Peak. Heavy rains last night. Dried out again by now though. Might be coming back. That's the way that has been come. There's a Toyabe. Pretty dry step up here in the Toquima. There's occasional light barks. Not much else. Occasional circa carps, even occasional pinions coming up this high. Some in that grove, I do believe. This is pretty much 10,000 feet here, so Toquimas are high and dry. Wildcat. That's Alta Toquima ahead. This ridge was a little tough to get up, so not much progress today. Although I do see some tracks later down the ridge. Not yet though. This side much gentler. Just saw a pinion over there at 10,000 whatever, 300 feet or so. It's a very strange place, Toquima here. It's almost as if it's in the rain shadow of the rain shadow of the rain shadow. Meaning there's the Sierra, the Whites, Toyabe, Shoshone, there's other ranges in between, smaller. Monitor, wonder what that looks like if it's so bare and open and unforested as Toquima is. I was expecting kind of lusher habitats on this traverse. I'm definitely not complaining. I like it as it is. It's a fantastic place. Wild and mostly undisturbed, although they definitely graze the cattle up on these ridges, but you can't really tell based on the plant composition, meaning it's not overgrazed and highly invaded and disturbed and such, so it's fine. They've been doing it for over 100 years themselves, I believe. They got the Monitor Ranch down there, for example. Probably founded prior to 1900, maybe in a different iteration or name. Got these really tiny Eriogonum cespitosum-like things, but they're so tiny, so compact, that I'm gonna have to dig into some potential alternative species names for this thing. Because we do get plenty of pinyon juniper stuff here, and yeah, dwarfed versions of them. But at the same time, this area is known for its special flora. especially Alta Toquima ahead, has endemic taxa. I don't even remember what they are. I'm planning on just encountering them, hopefully. They'll pop out if they're there. I'll snap a couple photos, maybe a video or two. It's our little Eriogonum friends. They're less than 10 centimeters tall. Rare to see Astragalus doing so well that it bursts into super blooms, but it's happening right here, right now. That entire hillside is purple. It's subtle to my eyes and maybe these lenses as well. But up close, you can have no doubt. The balsam roots are doing their part as well, of course. There are many species of Stragoli on these slopes. I would say upwards of 10. And yes, we're mostly just seeing one right now. There are subtle yellow ones here, for example. Many types on these ridges. Here's the Alta Toquima. Pass through a mine first, and a pass with a road. Then it looks like quite the climb upwards to that castle fortress thing. I believe there are quite a few trails up there. May help along the way, may not. But after we cross Alta Toquima there, we're getting closer to the end. Sprinkled prior to dawn, which told me I might be in trouble today. That's a weird thing to happen in Nevada. Skies should typically be clear at night, but they started off this way. Kind of staying this way, but at the same time surely slowly building ever more darkly. Looks like there's probably already some precip in the Toyabe. I've seen similar skies out eastwards towards the Monitor. Not well visible right now. And then there's Alta Toquima, alternatively known as Mount Jefferson. I like Alta Toquima better. Building quite a force up there. It looks untreed for the most part, although there's trees on much of the slopes. That summit plateau is what I'm a bit worried about. I have plenty of time to wash socks in streams and such in the meantime, which is desperately needed at this point. Once again, fairly heavy rain has struck fairly early. Hopefully that opens up a few hours for me to get up top and either bunker back down or continue on. Once this clears, of course, because it will. Sagebrush zone is getting a dense soaking right now. Relatively safe here at this spring. Give my feet a rest. Let's look at them. Oh, we're a little bored here. See that? That's just the top part. You don't want to see the bottom, and I don't want to show you right now. It's gets worse. Not quite as bad as it looks in terms of feeling. Just got pounded with rain for over an hour. Quite wet conditions out here now. I'm pretty wet, hoping to dry out by walking. This is a campground area, a precursor trailhead to the main path upwards to that Alta Toquima Massif, which is probably still socked in. Definitely got hit very heavy up there, and all the ranges around here as well. On the trail system, I guess if it comes back I'll have to camp, consider packing, continuing on if there's light still. I can't suffer another pounding like that, being already quite wet now. It's supposed to be a trailhead and a trail in this wet aspen cottonwood drainage here. I'm not seeing a lot of evidence of it. It seems defunct. I'm stuck here either way, upwards. Found it. Already been set back very substantially today. Not least of which via storms, but also trying to find this out of the way trail as well. Very overgrown in general. There's not a path to it from the main road. So people have to really be determined to get here if they're trying to use it. Water is high right now. Stream crossings generally requiring me to take off my shoes so far. But we're going to rise above the stream pretty soon. I was looking forward to a forest trail in Nevada, that rare event, and glad it's still here. Defunct, lightly used, if ever. More so than by horses than people in any case. But extant. It's amazing how quickly one can go from dry, crusty, dirty socks to wet, clean socks. That was prior to the storms. Now it's just ongoing as I wipe up more moisture along the way here into my shoes, socks, foot, lower leg region. This is quite extraordinary. It's the largest pedicactus of all time. Most of them barely poke above ground level, of course. Amazing. It's like a proper barrel. Never seen anything like it. Leaving the creek bottom now. Hope they dry out a little bit, generating heat with these switchbacks. Path faded out pretty early on, climbing up. This is its general trajectory though. Could have saved a lot of time by just heading straight up earlier. But it was raining after all. So it goes, and I'm here now, making a 4,000 foot climb. It's becoming a little bit too gray again for my liking. I believe it's coming back because it's coming back to the Toyabe, which had been clearing out earlier. Back on track, I'm seeing cairns from sightline to sightline. Path is coalescing again. The cairns and the path going high up now. Back in the creek drainage, much higher up this time. Following this for quite a bit towards the top. Leaving the glacial cirque here, surely once well laked. Over 1,000 foot climb now to that Cornice Pass. May have to bypass the cornices. They look quite lippy. Path is improved higher up to some degree, not necessarily right in this spot. There's cairns and little flags. Cows and ranchers alike definitely use these parts, and it seems like someone's making efforts to make the trail more visible up here, and it connects to higher trails above, so at some point there is nice trail walking up there. Come into a pseudo tundra environment. It's not snow, that's hail from earlier. That's snow. Avoiding the cornice via the trail. Sunshine on those lower slopes is absolutely sublime. Too distant to really show you. That one's for me. Spectacular Alta Toquima. It's beautiful up here. Treeless. Get a closer look in the morning. Quite rocky in this particular spot. I'll go as far as possible. That's flocks mixing in with the snow, hail, whatever we want to call it at this point on the high summit plateau. Wonder what other treasures are buried right now.